One of the questions I get a lot is what's the difference between local SEO and traditional organic SEO? So I'm going to walk through a live example of the search results and break down what the differences are and ultimately which one should you focus on to get the most results for your business. So the way I think about this, and this may not be the textbook definition, this is how I distinguish between the two, is if we search a keyword, a local based keyword like this, like storage units in Atlanta, Georgia, it's important to really look through the search results and see what is available. So in local SEO, the main thing we're typically focused on is ranking in the map listings right here. And then with traditional or organic SEO, we're more focused on ranking here in these standard kind of listings below the map pack. So those are really the two different areas. Now, there's a lot of overlap between the two and how you actually go about improving your visibility and your rankings. There are some differences, but there are a lot of tactics and techniques that will be similar to get you to rank in both of these. Now, it's important to actually look fully at the search results though, because we've come a long way from when it was just these basically organic listings. So on most local based searches, you're going to have text ads at the top. And if we actually do a different industry, like let's do home services here. So let's do like electricians. This even gives you another ad type. So for this storage result here, you'll see we have ads at the top, just standard Google text ads. In some industries, they actually have these Google guaranteed ads, which show up even above the text ads. So these are pay per lead ads, essentially, where you pay for phone calls that come through. So some search results are going to have both ad types. Then there's a potential ad that can show up in the map listings as well. So in these local based searches, it's usually heavily dominated with ads at the top of the page. So your first chance to show up organically is going to be through local SEO and ranking in these map listings. Now you can see the same thing if we look at this electrician search, there's 3 results in the map listings, which is ultimately where you want to be. Then you get to traditional organic results, but it's important to actually look at these organic results and break down some of the differences in like how you can actually rank here. So one way is just with your actual page itself. So in this case, whatever location page you have on your website that's targeted around this keyword, you want to get that to show up in the top 10. But you'll also see things like this. These people also ask questions. So through blog content or other type of content on your website, you can actually write content about these questions and actually be the source of these answers. So that's a second way you could show up in the organic results. Then in most local based industries, there's directory websites or aggregator websites. In storage, we have this one, Rent Cafe. We also have this one, Sparefoot, and then really these two as well, selfstorage.com and Storage Cafe. All of these websites here that we're looking at are not actually storage facilities. They're directory websites that list other storage facilities on them. So almost every local industry has some of those sites now. Let's see if there is one with electricians. So for electricians, we're getting Yelp and Angie's List. So same kind of thing. By ranking highly on these directory websites, you can also essentially get another listing on the first page. So not only can you rank your page, but if you're on all of these directories prominently, when somebody clicks through on all these different ones, they're also going to find you again. And that's really the more modern approach to SEO. It's not just focusing on one thing. It's how do you show up as many times as possible on the first page and then putting a plan together to do that. I think that's the biggest mistake I see with local SEO is that certain businesses only focus on one listing when really to get the best quality leads, what I've seen is the more you can show up on the first page, the more likely you are to get the best leads. Sometimes even with ads, even if someone doesn't click on an ad, if someone sees your brand here, then they see another ad here, and then they see you in the local pack, and then they see you organically, and then they finally go and click on a directory site and you're also there. They've now seen you 4 or 5 times before they got to this directory where they ultimately made their choice. So the chances of them choosing your business and calling and reaching out to you go dramatically up when you're actually targeting all these different aspects of the first page of Google. It's not just ranking once anymore. It's really like, how can you get your brand featured as much as possible? And that's usually through a combination of ads, local SEO, traditional SEO, and focusing on these directory and aggregator websites. That's more of a complete approach. And typically the way I like to focus with the clients I work with and the businesses I work with and my own businesses as well. I'm always looking at like, how do I get featured as many times as possible and not put all my eggs in one basket and only do one thing. Now, attribution and when you actually dig into the data sometimes gets a little tricky because it's hard to know how much value does an ad have that someone doesn't click on. Maybe they see your ad twice, then they actually click on your listing here and convert. You won't really see that in your analytics that they saw your ad. Or you can, but it's hard to actually get that data, and organic search will get the credit, but it's always hard to evaluate those things. So that's, I think there's something to be said about how these things can work together when you're ultimately trying to get on the first page. So again, I'd like to focus on both local and traditional organic, but then even beyond that, getting on directories, answering these people also ask questions. Some search results will have other features on here. Sometimes you'll see Reddit threads or forums on there, and you could actually have a strategy for that. So first step is search your keywords and start to document what are the different things that come up that are available. And then once you've documented all those, like in this case, there's two different ads. There's local, there's traditional organic, there's people also ask, and there's directories. Once you map all that out, then you can put a plan together for each one and try and rank in all of those, depending on your budget and your goals. So again, although these are separate kind of things, there's a lot of overlap. In this video, we're not going to go too deep on tactically, how do you actually rank in this local pack and how do you actually rank in the organic results. Like I said, there's some different tactics you need to do. There are some that are similar that work for both, but there's definitely some separate techniques as well. So that's pretty much it here. Just wanted to break down one of the questions I get quite a bit on the difference between local SEO and organic SEO. Again, overall, I think they work together. I don't like to focus on just one of these. I like to focus on all the different aspects that can get me onto the first page to ultimately get the best quality leads possible.